one of the things that I see a lot is that there's kind of what I would call almost a failure to launch for people. There's a fear about becoming the specialist, right? Because when I talk to an originator, for instance, and I go, well, what do what makes you special? It's like, well, I can get low rates. I can get, I got fast turnaround time. It's like, well, that's the cost of admission. Like that's the
That's right.
expectation just
That's
to do
right. That's
business.
right. That's the
Yeah.
ante to get in the game.
Right. And
That's
so,
all it is.
in that arena, and I often warn our members about this, is in that arena, it's like if you're worried about those kind of things that are commoditized, there are juggernauts that are heavily dependent on the internet and have built these digital systems based on large budgets, Super Bowl ads. They have the brand recognition to dominate that space, and they can buy all the impressions and squeeze you out, right? And so my question for you is, for an originator who might be going, Dan, this all sounds great, but I can help everybody. I help everybody, and I don't want to turn business away. How can somebody like that decommoditize themselves in a generally otherwise commoditized market?
Well, so by the way, most markets are generally commoditized. So
Okay.
what your loan officer feels is a unique problem to him is not a unique problem at all. Right? There's over 500 amusement parks in the country, and the only one that's decommoditized is Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And anybody, Universal Studios could copy them. They're just not smart enough. So the first answer to your question is decision. So the sales professional, in your case, the loan officer, has got to commit to the concept that I don't want to be a third-class citizen in this industry, commoditized at enormous disadvantage to, as you say, for example, really big entities who actually, they're not even working with real money. So you're doing your advertising and your marketing and you're selling with real money, and you need to get real money back in order to pay real bills. They're using Wall Street investors' money.
Mm,
They're playing a game with fake money,
right.
and they can play the game a long time with fake money, losing
Yeah.
and still dominating a space. So going up against them head to head with vague claims of I'm faster, I care more, we give better service. See, that's a losing proposition. And if you don't know what to do, then you start by looking around at everybody else is doing, and you know that you shouldn't be doing that. Okay? Because the overwhelming majority of people in every category of business, including yours, okay, are earning average or below average incomes. Every industry has the same prosperity pyramid.
Mm,
There's 1% at the very top. There's 4% doing very well. There's 15% doing good. There's 40% doing just good enough not to quit. And there's 40% starving. So if you add the 40 and the 40, 8 out of 10, whatever they're doing is wrong. So if you didn't know what to do, you just make a list of what the 8 out of 10 are doing and start by not doing that. But you
mm,
have to be conceptually committed to this before you will have the imagination and the brass balls to then do what is necessary to separate yourself from the crowd at the bottom. One of those options, there are options, but one is specialization or perceived specialization, because people, and the more affluent they are, the more this is true, people intuitively, instinctively, and consciously want who or what is specifically for them. They don't want what is for anybody and everybody, because by the very nature of that, it says to me, it can't really be great for me if it's also great for my idiot brother-in-law at the other end of the city who barely gets a living. Say, it can't be great for both of us. So maybe it's great for neither one of us, but I want something and someone that is great for me, right? So you've got to sacrifice to specialize. There's no doubt about it. Okay? When the big, God, who are they? When the big second mortgage company that specializes in veterans goes on TV. And
Is it Veterans United?
USA, thank you. Veterans United. Yeah. Veterans United probably dominates the space online. And USAA pretty much dominates it on broadcast. Okay? Every ad they run, everything they say says, if you're not a veteran, don't call us. They sacrifice them. They had a whole campaign last year of Gronk from the New England Patriots, okay, trying to weasel his way in to get to becoming a USAA member and being able to buy insurance from them and get mortgages from them, and constantly being turned down because, sorry, but you're not a veteran. Right? So they are sacrificing tons of eyeballs to get the reaction from a percentage of the eyeballs of, wait a minute, hey, those guys are for me. They're talking only to me.
Well, and that sale for the person that you are specializing in now becomes infinitely easier.
Oh, it's profoundly easier. So when you become known for something in a marketplace, I want to find a list here. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to look for it. Here we go. As a freelance professional copywriter, one of the things I got known for as a specialist was information marketing, and inside that, filling seminar seats. So the talk of that town was and is, nobody's better at putting butts in seats than Kennedy. So now when somebody comes to me and says, I need to put butts in seats, will you do that for me? Okay. That sale is like not a sale. It's a prescription. Well, I could. Here's what you need to do. Boom, 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 boom. Here's what that's going to cost. Boom, 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 boom. And do you want to pay it all up front, or do you want to pay it in thirds? End of sale. I just did the whole sale. Right? Because there was predetermined desire on their part to get me if they could, because I was perceived as a specialist for them. Now, I also have the right copy for skincare, and but that's not the point. So specialization is one of these pathways. Another one that's very powerful is being the provider who fixes what people hate in a business, in a service category, in a profession. Okay? So like I have a client that works with small law firms. He's what you are to loan officers, he is to small law firms. And one of the things all clients hate about their lawyers is the lawyer never calls and gives them an update on what the hell's going on with their case. And they let it go and let it go and let it go while their frustration builds up and up and up until they finally call to get an update. And they hate it.
Mm-hmm.
So he teaches the law firm to fix that. Number one, operationally fix it. So everybody gets an update every week on their case, right? Then another path of my 6 big ones for this is performance guarantees. So now you can't guarantee the legal work, but you can guarantee this. So now he's able to take what he fixed that they hate and turn it into a performance guarantee. We guarantee you will get an update every week on your case, or we'll refund your fee.
It's a solid offer.
Right? It's great, right?
Yeah.
Client goes.
And it costs them damn near nothing.
It's actually doing what you should be doing anyway, right?
Right.
I mean, right. There's another pathway which is kind of like specialization. It's great affinity. Okay? So people shouldn't have a buying preference with professionals because of this. People shouldn't get to trust this way, but they do. Mm-hmm. One of the big points I make in my No BS trust-based marketing book is people get to trust for all the wrong reasons. That's why people lose all their money to Bernie Madoff and FTX. Okay, they get to trust for wrong reasons. So affinity is a great one. Okay, can be ethnicity, can be the church you go to. It can be that you were a veteran, dad was a veteran. So I'll give you a precise example. We have a longtime member, James Lang, and Jim is a financial advisor and money under management guy in Pennsylvania. Okay, meaning he sells financial products, annuities, insurance, etc. And he has a money under management part of his business where you just hand it to him and he manages your portfolio. I don't know how many there are in Pennsylvania, but there's a slew of them. Right? Mm-hmm. And rate of return, if you don't head it off, is a big topic of conversation in that business. Right? Sure. What rate of annual return can you get me on? What does this annuity pay? Oh, I'll go Google annuities and I'll see what they all pay, et cetera, right? So all these problems exist in that business. Well, he has a fortunate affinity, which I beat him up to capitalize on. His mom's a college professor. His dad's a college professor. His brother's a college professor. His cousin's a college professor, all in the greater Pittsburgh area, right? And he's professorial. He comes across that way, probably because he's been around them, right, his whole life. So I said, why are you screwing around putting the general public into your marketing funnel? The same general public everybody else is putting into a marketing funnel. And then basically you're all saying the same stuff to them because you don't have much choice, right? When you could just put college professors into a funnel just for college professors, only talk college professor talk. Use the fact that your whole family is made up of college professors, which is what motivated you to figure out how to do the best things you could possibly do with money for college professors for their retirement. Write a book only for college professors about et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. His free workshops, financial advisors all run the come to the evening workshop, get the free chicken dinner, and they all do that. His free workshops are only for college professors.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. His business is 5 times what it was generic. Okay. Higher average investable, therefore higher value per client, much less competitive questions. They almost don't exist. Right. And I can tell you story after story after story of the same model. So affinity is a pattern.